Welcome back, folks, to the CyberRoadster daily vlog. Why I haven't posted in over a week, I had to move from that last house where I started this build. And kind of makes me wonder, like, why did they give me a 60-day notice?
Real look. Look at that.
We were month to month. It wasn't like we had a lease. I'm surprised that nobody like called the city or anything. I never got any letters. But anyways, back to the car. So as you can see, this piece of the fender is off again. So I did the window. I did all the framing for the window, and then the last fender that I did, I said, this is it. I'm gonna stay with this. Keep in mind, I'm someone who never done something like this, and I'm attempting to do it. I know I'm gonna get it done. I just don't know how. Hopefully I don't change this again, because I need to start driving this bad boy. Now what I'm doing is what I should have done from the beginning. Since this is a Tesla, I sat down scratching my head because attempt number like 30. And I'm like, what is going wrong here? And I pretty much go back to Tesla design. And I'm like thinking, well, what do all the Teslas have in common? It's their hip, it's their quarter panel. I have a Model 3 here, but the quarter panel's messed up. But for example, let me show you this right here. This line, let me show you this. For example, look at this quarter panel, right? This line that I have right there that sits above, right there where the window is, right? That's this line, and then that line right there where the camera is goes over there, right? And that line is right there, and it tapers off, it disappears, kind of like in the hip. And this hip line overwhelms and disappears here, right? So at this point, I'm like, I'm willing to give it a try. I know I'm gonna get this done, I just don't know how, okay? And I think I'm getting there with this specific Tesla design. Check this out. This is what all of them have in common. So right here, this line is continuing. See right there, kind of disappears into nothing. This line continues, and I basically took a laser, and followed this line all the way through. And I pretty much kind of brought them in more so that the hip can overwhelm these lines greater than what a Model S does, Model 3 obviously, and even the Tesla Roadster. So right here, as you can see, you see that line right there? This line, even though it's inside over there significantly, it's inside, it overwhelms these lines over here. And then this hip will come out like a lot. So this is my next attempt at this quarter panel right here. And see how this part is going to go in a lot. Like, this is deep. This is what's going to make the hip look really deep. The hip is going to continue. This line overwhelms it, and then this line kind of overwhelms this line. And then, same thing, up here. I know it's kind of hard to see with what's going on here. It's kind of empty. Definitely so much. Look at all that metal dust right there. And I've cleaned this up multiple times already. I clean this like probably every 3 days. So this is where I'm at right now. Definitely not gonna be a back window here. It just does not work. This is, any window you attempt to do, it's just too rounded and it goes way too deep in there. And it just makes the car look funny. I'm gonna continue with this, putting this on, and I have a good feeling about this one. If this works, this is gonna be the one. So, bear with me, fingers crossed. Guys, thank you for the patience. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. I have a vision. I knew I was gonna do it, I just don't know how. And obviously I still got more work to do, but since I got this squared away, this was the hard part. This is literally like half the car, you know, from the front of the door back. Right now what I gotta do is just meet up the roof with the hip and then do this little part right here, which is mainly gonna be flat. I'll give it a little design, but that's gonna be in the next video. And after I get this covered, and then finally I get to work on the rear and putting on this, as I call it, the Cyber Lights. A lot of people thought this was from a 911, but this is actually a lot wider. This is from a LX600 Lexus, the big SUV. The 911 light, I measured it, is actually about 9 inches shorter, narrower than this. So you can imagine this rear end, this is basically gonna be like a Model S rear end wide, but the roof is super, super low. So I'm happy, I'm moving on finally. So definitely stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, peace. Guys, I was just working on the car, I had an epiphany. Okay, do you remember, if you followed me in the beginning, on my Instagram bio, it said, picture a Cybertruck and a Lamborghini had a baby, right? And it just hit me, I was like, wait a minute, there's no Lamborghini vibes on here. What if I gave it a Lamborghini vibe?